All right, so we're going to start with our very first workout for this channel. So these are workouts for anybody with fibromyalgia or chronic pain, chronic fatigue, autoimmune, or any other barrier or obstacle that you have towards working out. These are all home workouts. These are all things that are going to be customizable to how you're feeling that day or that week. But before you start any exercise program, please talk to your doctor about if this is right for you. Just to make sure. We don't want you to start something and have it cause more problems than it's going to help. So we're going to do our very first one today is going to be body weight, and either I'm going to show standing and seated options for both. So the way I do things is I start with a warm-up that's about 3 to 4 minutes long and somewhat dancey. You don't have to be coordinated or anything like that. It's just we flow with the music just to kind of get us in the mood and get our bodies warm and things like that. So we start with that, and then I do circuit style. So I will go through a handful of exercises, and then I'll repeat those exercises. So today we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 exercises, and we're going to try and go through it twice. Now, sometimes I might do 2 to 3 exercises, and we'll try and get through it 4 times. We might do 4 exercises and try and get through 3 times. It just depends on that day and kind of what we're working. But today's going to be a full body, so we're going to do a couple moves to work each part of the body. And then we've got a little bit of cardio at the end. So no impact cardio, but just to kind of get the heart rate up and get us going. And then we're going to finish with some seated stretching today. So we're just going to start. We're going to go right into it. And we're going to start with our warm up. And the first thing you're going to do are nice big hugs right here, back and forth. And you're going to do that while I start the music, because I always have to have my music going. So right here. That with our hugs, back and forth, just in, out, really open those arms wide, big stretch right here, opening up that chest. Just trying to get our blood flowing a little bit. So we're going to take this now to a cat and cow. So we're going to arch your back, bring your arms forward, and then hips back and open that chest up. So just round and back and kind of look up. And even if you don't arch, that's fine. Just bring those arms forward and back. All right, now we're going to take one arm, reach it up overhead, and then the other arm overhead. And if you're feeling it, add a lean side to side. If it's too much, just kind of up and down. All right, let's take it to a march. So right in place, a little march. If you want more, bring those knees up higher. Okay, we're gonna work on a knee touch. So put your hands on your thighs, slide them down to your knees, and stand up. And while you do that, you're gonna think about bracing your core. So it's like, almost like if somebody were to come up and pretend to hit you, and you do that flinch, that tightening, and the back, great, hug. We'll work on that one kind of throughout, because to me that is a really important move, because if we bend over to pick anything up off the floor, if we're bending over to reach something underneath, and then underneath cabinet, let's do our cat-cow. If we do it wrong, that's when the lower back pain starts to come into play. Reach side to side. So this is one of those moves that can be really important to learn how to do correctly. All right, let's march. Bring those knees up if you want. Give them attitude. Okay, here we go. So bending at the hips as far as you can, even if it's only halfway down your thigh, that's fine. But you want to just kind of reach, keeping those shoulders squeezed, like you're squeezing a coin between your shoulder blades, and you don't want it to fall. And you're bumping your booty back. So, like if you're bending over to reach in the cabinet, or if you're bending over to take something out of the dishwasher, that's the move we're doing. So let's do Just a couple more hugs just to kind of get ourselves ready. Okay, we're gonna start with our lower body exercises. So we've got two of them. The first one is either knee march, sit to stand, or a squat. So if you're not feeling it today, sitting at the edge of, we're gonna do a bed today, but you can use a chair or a bench or a couch, and just raise those knees up as high as you can, right here. If you've got that, and you're like, I think I can do a little bit more, we're gonna do a sit to stand. Now, ultimately, you wanna just stand up and sit down. But if that's not working for you today, you can use your hands up and then down. But eventually, the goal is to not use your hands. If you've got that and you wanna try a little bit more, we're gonna do a squat. So about shoulder width apart, bending those knees, weight is in your heels, not your toes. You should be able to wiggle your toes. And it's like when you sit down in a chair or on the side of the couch or the bench. Down and up. Really think about squeezing that belly button, just like I was saying about bracing for the punch. Back and forth. And your hips, you tuck them under. We don't want them sticking out. Tuck them under, down, as far as you can, and up. Let's try 5 more, whatever of those 3 you're doing. Let's try it. 5, 4, never stop. 3, there it's 2, 1 more. We're gonna do a knee touch or a forward bend just like we did for the warm-up, but we're gonna go a little bit further. So if you're sitting down for this one, you're sitting towards the edge of whatever you're using, chair, bench, couch, bed, and your knees are at about a 90. We're gonna roll those hips, we tuck them under. Tuck. This is the most important move, I think. Tucking those hips and squeezing your belly button tight. So like if somebody was, and you squeeze, that's the motion you want. It's gonna save a lot of lower back pain. Now, hands to your side, forward as far as you can go. Now, if you can't reach the bottom, that's fine. And come back up. We don't want to round. We want it straight, sitting up tall. Now, if you've got that and you want to try some more standing, you're going down towards your knees and up straight. And you squeeze your glutes when you stand up. Down and up. And don't look down and don't look up. You want to keep your spine neutral, your neck. 4 more, and then we will move on to our core. So we're gonna do each body part. We're gonna do 2 moves, and then we're gonna go back through and do it again. We'll do it all again. 1 more. All right, so now our core. So we're gonna do, you can do these seated or standing, totally up to you. But again, you're always sitting towards the edge if you're seated. We're gonna do a twist with a punch. Well, first let's do our twist. Back and forth. Now there are people that are told no twisting, and completely understandable. If you cannot do twists, if you're told not to do twists, do not do this one. All you're gonna do, punch side to side. If you are allowed to twist and you want a little bit extra, right here. But either way, down those hips underneath, tuck that belly button in tight. You want to try that every single time, side to side. And when we're twisting with the upper part of our body. We're not twisting down here. That's the other thing, is you're twisting shoulders. It's your shoulders that are moving back and forth, and that's how the punch kind of helps. It's up here. It's not down here where it's a little more fragile. And we find a lot of issues with the lower spine. It's so 4 more from your chest area. 3, 2, 1. All right, again, seated or standing. I'm doing seated first. I'll do standing the next time. We're gonna do an open book. It's the same kind of move, but now you're here. And the idea is upper back. So you're gonna reach, open those arms up. And you are moving with the upper part of your body. And we're working on some spinal mobility with this one. So just reach behind you Again, if you're not comfortable twisting to look behind, just move those arms and stay facing straight forward. But bring those arms side to side. Let's do one more with each arm. Hips tucked, belly button in. Every time, squeeze that core tight. Okay, now for the arms. We're gonna do push-ups. I will show two different ways today. I will show the wall and the bed. You can do them on the floor, but that'll be a different one. So on the wall, basically, you want to make sure that you're far enough away from the wall that you're actually gonna be leaning into it and coming up. So you start close, if that's too easy. Step back. Still too easy. Step back. Arms a little bit wider. If that's too easy, you go to the bench. But really, you want to make sure that your hands are about chest. You don't want them up here when you're trying to do your push-ups. You're gonna be chest level. So if you're on the bed now, or bench, or couch, whatever you're using, bring your chest down and up. Or if you can only go part of the way. But let's try 5 more. Pick your level and try 5 of those. So the easiest is just gonna be close to the wall. 4, 3, and really squeeze those shoulder blades. Keep that belly button tucked in. 2, and those hips tucked underneath. We don't want this, we want tucked. Okay, so now we're gonna do some cardio. So 2, oh no, second arm move, I almost forgot. Okay, so we're just gonna up, up, down, and you're gonna press your hands into your bed or your couch or your chair or whatever you're using. Press and squeeze. Give yourself some tension. Press. And really reach up nice and tall. Press and squeeze. If you want a little bit of resistance, you can always use a pillow or a ball. If you have weights, you can use a light weight. Can good. Press. 4 more. Reach up. 4. 3. Pressing against, you're gonna feel it in your chest there. 2. 1. Now we're gonna do 2 cardio moves. If you're doing seated, this first one, you're gonna go out, out, in. Out, out, in. You can even get your arms going. If you're standing, you can go out, out, in. If you want a little bit of movement with this is still a little too easy. Step, step. You go step, 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 tap. Pick your level and keep going. Seated, out, out, in. Standing, out, out, in. Or standing side to side. Let's do a couple more. Ooh. All right, we're gonna take that now, right here. If you can, you're gonna be standing, and we're gonna alternate some leg lifts in the back. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna step back and forth. Not letting your knee go past your toe in the front. If you're seated, we're gonna do kick, kick, kick. But keep going, whichever one you're doing, because this is the heart rate, the cardio part. Or here, here. And to increase your cardio, you always use your arms too. Get those arms moving. Woo! 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that is our whole circuit. Those are all 8 moves. We're gonna go through it again. And then after that, I'll do some stretching. So if you like this and you're able to follow me through the whole thing and you want a little bit more, you can always pause before we stretch and do a 3rd sequence and then come back to the stretching. Or if 1 round's enough for now, you can fast forward to the stretches. We're gonna do some seated stretches. All right, let's get ready. We're going back to either our marches, our sit to stand, or our squat. Pick your level. Whichever one you can, or here. It doesn't have to be fast. This isn't the cardio part. But whatever you can do, just keep working. or here. Back and forth. Really thinking about those hips and that belly button as you do these. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now it's our forward bend or knee touch. Get yourself situated, tuck those hips, belly button tucked in tight. Down and up. And this one you do want to make sure you're going somewhat slow because you really want to feel those hips and that core. Down and up. And picture yourself taking some plates out of the dishwasher. And you got to put them on the counter. Or you're reaching underneath and grabbing a container and putting it up. Or you're reaching down to get something off the floor or tying your shoes. So let's do 4 more and then we'll move on to our core moves. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, the core moves, seated or standing, punches, keeping those hips tucked, belly button tucked, side to side. If you can twist, and remember we're twisting from our chest area, not the lower core. Up in the thoracic spine up here. Or you add that punch with a twist. Punch. Keep that going. 4 more. Really focus on squeezing right here as you extend. 2, 1. Now it's the open book. It's a similar move. Arms out in front. Reach that arm as far behind you as you can. And then the other side. Feel it in your core. You're going to feel it down in here. If you can, look back behind you. Again, twisting from up top, not so much down here. And look side to side. Back and forth. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now we've got our 2 upper body. We're going to do our push-ups first. So either wall or your bench, chair, whatever you're using. And we're going to aim for 10 or as many as you can do. So if you're starting here and it's getting to be too hard, come to the wall and come in close. All right, pick your level. Down and up, making sure those arms are, hands are above the chest, not up here. You want them over the chest. Squeeze, and those hips are tucked. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoop. All right, if you're standing, you can always do these and reach as far as you can, or you could do the seated and press into the back. It works a little bit differently. So here you're working more chest, standing up and reaching further back. You're doing more shoulder mobility work. Up, press back, press back, or up, press back. But let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's do our either out, in, standing, seated, or you could do your sidewalks. But and you're using your arms with it. 4, warrior, back, and forth. Keep it moving now. Want to get the heart rate going just a little bit. Bum, 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 bum. Warrior. Keep it going. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now it's either the back raise, the back steps, or the seated kicks. Pick your level. But we want to keep going. Use your arms if you can. You can add a little punch. But keep that going. We're almost there. What you made of. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we've done 2 rounds. If you want to do a third, now is the time to pause and do a third round, and then unpause and come back for our stretches. So we're going to do them all seated today. Stretching is incredibly important. Even if you don't do a workout, a 5-minute stretch can make all the difference. So let's do our arm first. Bring one arm across, sitting up nice and tall. We're still not letting those hips come untucked. Tuck those hips. Deep breath while you're here. And then reach up. There's some days where the only thing I'm able to do is stretch for about 5 to 10 minutes. So if that's the case for you, I'll also put up a stretch, like just a full video itself on stretching. But I find that incredibly helpful on those weeks or days that it's just not happening. At least stretch a little bit. And I'll run through a full series of seated, standing, laying if you're able to get on the floor for a period of time. I'll show some of those. All right, we're gonna put our hands together, one on top of the other. You're gonna round your back, and you're gonna press those arms as far as you can and drop your head. And we're just gonna hold it. Like, stretch that upper back. All right, take those arms back behind you, chest forward. And if you can, you're gonna try and reach for that one wrist and hold it. If not, just reach back behind, look up. All right, bring those arms forward, both arms one side. If you can do the twist, again, if you're not supposed to be twisting, don't do this one, just put one hand on your thigh, one hand back behind you, and stay facing forward. And twist, kind of look back. Now let's do the other side, same thing, either both hands and stay facing forward, or look to the side. All right, we're gonna do one of my favorites. We're gonna do a figure 4. Great for hips. If you can, you're taking your foot and you're resting it on your knee. And then you're just gonna lean forward. If you can't quite do that, and you can cross your legs, do that and lean. Great hip opener. This one is right in here is where I feel it quite a bit. So I really enjoy these. All right, other side. So each of these workouts, 30 minutes or less. So there might be some that I go through and do a full 30 minutes. Less than that too. So it's one of those things where if you feel like you can do more, if it's a 15-minute video and you feel like you can do more, go through it a second time and give yourself a 30-minute workout. All right, now we're gonna stretch the back of the hamstrings. So we're gonna put one foot out. You can't quite see. My toes are gonna be facing me, and you're gonna lean from your waist as far as you can without rounding. Don't collapse. Keep that straight, just like when we were doing our forward bends. And as far as you can go. If you're only here, that's fine. You just want to make sure you feel it. Back of the knee and the hamstring without a shooting pain. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Toes up, lean from your waist as far as you can, and reach without collapsing. Don't collapse. That's how I know. That's how I know. And then come back up. So we're gonna do a seated warrior pose. So just take your knees to one side and then drop the back one. And it's gonna feel a little awkward. Reach up tall. You can put that foot back if you can. All right, and the other side, turn to the side, this leg back if you can, and reach up. Take a deep breath while you're here, and just let it out, and come forward. Okay, so now let's do a side stretch. So if you're on a chair or a bench or whatever, you're gonna try and take this forearm. If you can, you're gonna put it on the side. You're gonna reach this one and lean onto this forearm right here. If not, put it in your lap and then lean and reach as far as you can. A nice tall stretch, like you're trying to reach the corner of the ceiling. All right, set that one down, reach the other side. Lean if you can, if not, just hold it here. Reach those fingertips. And set it down. All right, we're gonna do a forward fold. If you need to, just on your knees. If you can fold without any issues, you're gonna try and reach for the floor. If you feel dizzy or this just is not working for you, just put your hands on your thighs and just kind of rest there. Drop your head a little bit. And just hold it. All right, nice and slowly, we're gonna roll up and we're gonna stand up. Use your hands if you need to. Okay, now while we're here, we're gonna put our feet together. We're gonna take a big, tall stretch to the ceiling. Take a deep breath. And then let it out to one side. Up, deep breath. Other side. Last one. Big, tall stretch. Deep breath. Let it out and drop your arms. And that is our first full body workout. Again, please comment on this if you enjoyed it, if you're going to use it, or if you would like to see something else. I will try and post often, cross my fingers, at least once a week.